Hello. Good morning. It's nighttime here. Morning for some, afternoon for others, perhaps. How's everyone doing? Alright, cool, you guys can hear me. I'm always afraid that I'll start talking and no one can hear me. I did that last stream. I came back from settling Dough Baby and talked for a while and then realized I was muted. So yeah, here we are. Yeah, the original plan for tonight did not really work out how we were hoping. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, and I still had enough energy to stream, so here we are. I might do a slight bit of picking up in the kitchen just because it's kind of a mess, because I only just put food up and I didn't do any other picking up, so as we wait to see if anyone else rolls in, I might do a little bit of picking up, talk about the day, see how you guys are doing. And then this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, which is writing flash fiction, or just like any sort of writing in general. I thought that'd be really fun to do on a stream. Flash fiction is probably a fun way to kind of get warmed back up into writing a bit. And it's something we can do together. You guys can give me some prompts, and then I'll try and write like a flash fiction. We'll probably start off with like looking up some flash fiction to read. And I think, if I remember right, flash fiction has to be like 100 words or less or something like that. So it's like really condensed. The more condensed a story is, the harder it is to write. There is what, like, I want to say a good couple years, because as a teen I was like working on my novels and stuff like that, but then after my first short story was published, there's a good couple year chunk where I didn't really work on novels, but I wrote a whole bunch of short stories, and relatively short. My short stories tend to be a bit long. Like it's hard keeping everything contained. But I will say writing, like, I don't know, at least, I want to say at least 10, maybe 12 or something in like the span of like a year and a half, of like fairly long short stories, did really help me refine my writing process and like how to take an idea and like manipulate it into a story and different things like that. So doing short forms of fiction, I think, is always a good way to really kind of practice and like work out your writing muscle. So anyway, yeah, let me at least, I'm gonna try and do just like a little bit of picking up, just a little bit in the kitchen. We'll see if you guys can still hear me as I'm walking around. And then we'll get into it. And yes, this is a big table. I found this background. I'll probably put, because I'll pull up what I'm working on, and I'll screen share, screen capture, and kind of put it below me, so it won't look as weird later. I guess for now I could just be giant. Here, hang on. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I can't go. Oh, I'm sinking. I'm sinking. What am I sinking about? I'm German. I guess I can't go below it for whatever reason, but I think there's like a green screen back there. I'm not sure how this works. I just like downloaded it. Here we are. I could go down the stairs. Here I am. Down the stairs I go. Bum 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 bum. Ha. Bum 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 bum. Now you can only see my hair. Whoa. You made a shadow? Oh. Ooh. Okay. I'll be right here. Ha ha. Ho ho. Alright, anyways. There's really, like, I don't know. I probably shouldn't try and do too much cleaning. Let me throw a couple things away real quick, and then we'll jump into the stream. This is partly just kind of like give people a chance to join in. I'll get my water. I'll throw away a few things that need to be thrown away. and then we'll look up some flash fiction to read, and then we'll try and write some. So, how's everyone doing? How's your Sunday morning? Had a nice day at church, and then pretty chill day. Just kind of hung out. Went out and grabbed groceries at one point because we were kind of out of food. So I think I took like an hour to meal plan, and then went and shopped by myself. So hopefully I've got us set up for a good week of trying to make sure we got dinners on the table and whatnot. Let's see, what else was going on today? Oh, Doe Kid overheard me talking about trying to get the stream set up tonight over dinner, and then he told me that that he and I are going to stream tomorrow. I forget what he said we were going to stream about. I don't know if I could trust him on stream though, not to say his name. Oh, I asked him what his streamer name would be, and at first he said Fire, and then something else, and then Red Chip. So, dinner, do you mean breakfast? Well, right now it is 11:38 p.m., so it is nighttime over here in Japan. I'm probably going to try and keep it somewhat short. I don't want to, lose too much sleep at the start of the week. But for dinner, I found a whole chicken, and so I roasted that in my cast iron Dutch oven. And then, oh yes, there was clams. Oh yeah, this was the other funny thing. There was like this big little, well, not that big, like nice little Tupperware of clams. I think it was, what was it, like 300 something yen? 300 something yen, so probably like, $3-4. And there was the clams, and I showed Doe Kid, I was like, look, they're, the little clams would stick their little selves out, and if you shook it, then they'd go back in the shell. And so I pointed it out to him, that's like, oh look, you can see them move. And then I got worried that, oh no, is he gonna get upset when I cook them? And I asked him if he wanted me to eat them, and for a while he said no. But then he was referring to them as like, oh, look at the meat sticking out. And then I showed him a video of someone cooking clams, and then he was all about it, and was perfectly fine with me cooking my clams. I don't think he tried any, but the video, the clams went over a like pasta dish and looked pretty yummy, so then he wanted the pasta, so I got some pasta for him and some cheese, some very nice Parmesan cheese, and he actually ate that up, which is excellent. It's always, sometimes he can be really hard to like make sure he's eating enough, because he just sometimes doesn't have an appetite, or he's kind of picky, or he doesn't want to slow down, so it's always good when he eats a good bit. So he enjoyed that, but the way I did my clams is, I did them, kind of like steam them in like butter and garlic, and then took the pan, and then I did mushrooms, and I did onions, and seasoned that, and got that all sauteed nice, and then added in the cooked clams, and so that was like my little side dish to my roasted chicken. It was pretty good. Steamed hams. Oh, I love that clip. So there's so much variety, so many creative things people have done with that little bit. The cast iron Dutch oven is the greatest. They're very handy. The way the top to my Dutch oven also doubles as like a pan, so that's pretty handy. All right, let me finish throwing things away, then we'll look at some stories. So you got some apples that the kids didn't eat. So the other cool thing is, well, the sad thing first is you cannot get raw milk in Japan. There might be like one farm, but that's like not anywhere close to us, and I don't think they would deliver this far. It's like a totally different area. So you can't, like, there's no real way to get raw milk, which breaks my heart every single day that I can't have any raw milk. But I did find a guy who's like teamed up with some local farmers, and so he can get the fresh milk from them and make cheese and yogurt and butter. So at least I can get like, you know, raw, real yogurt, butter, cheese, and the cheese is excellent. That was the Parmesan. I got the Parmesan, got like a basil one, got like another citrus one. But I finally got to go to his shop over the weekend, and I'm very happy. Oh, and it inspired me to finally try and make some yogurt, because I haven't made yogurt for a while, and I've been meaning to make yogurt. And then I had some of his yogurt, and I was like, ah, this is the real stuff. And he had like this little sort of syrup to go with it, and some like cow niblets. So it's like just the roasted cacao nut, or whatever, however it is. Very good. So I've currently got some yogurt in the Instapot. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. But I'm just very happy that I at least have a source for good butter and cheese and yogurt if I can't get the milk and do it myself. So at least there's that. But I was very happy to find that, and I got some yummy cheese, so I'm happy about that. How's everyone else doing today? Any fun Sunday plans going on? I also love the variety of mushrooms they have around here. Just like in the grocery stores, there's so many mushrooms. I love it. I love mushrooms. I feel sad for people that don't like mushrooms. Throw away the onion peels. Let's see. It was almost 400 yen. It's like 396 yen for the clams. So I mean, it was a pretty decent sized thing of clams. And they're yummy. Good for you. See, raw milk in my country in Asia, maybe we also don't have raw milk. Usually it's milk cartons from convenience stores, supermarkets. Auxiliary characters never had raw milk either. I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry that you're missing out. It's something that it's one of the tragedies is that one of the most like nutritious superfoods that we have available, especially good, like if you've got cows that are able to like be on pasture and like eat the summer grass, like that is so good for you. Like butter made from grass-fed cows out on summer pasture is so very good for you. I believe it was Dr. Weston A. Price that did a lot of research and study, and like was able to like back up like just how good and nutritious and helpful it is. And they make it illegal. It's very sad. I had a friend who I believe she spent some time in Asia, and I believe I forget which part of Asia, whichever culture where it's like cows are maybe like the more sacred, like cows are more sacred kind of thing. But however it was, like there wasn't really any local milk, and so milk was like super processed or pasteurized or like made in this weird way and like shipped in that it probably didn't even like resemble milk at all. Because like grocery store milk, like regular supermarket milk, is like white water. It tastes like white water. It's like nothing. It's just white water. When you compare it to like actual full like raw milk, there's no comparison. The raw milk is so delicious. It's so delicious. And then the other stuff is just like, all the good stuff is gone. They've taken all the good stuff out of it, and it's just kind of there. Anyway, that's my rant about milk today. So all that to say, oh, there's Dough Baby. There's Dough Baby. I'll probably go grab him and bring him down, and then we'll jump into some writing stuff. Has anyone in chat tried to write a story before. I feel like most people go through a phase of like trying to write a story of some sort. Oh, there's so many dishes. I have no dishwasher. It is very sad. It's a never-ending struggle. They just never end. Alright, I'll go ahead and look it up. See if we can find some flash fiction to read together. Went through my phase of that about 10 years ago. It's been, well, I've kind of been on hiatus. I've basically been on hiatus since like around when the dough babies first started coming around. It's been a couple years since I've done any like consistent or serious writing. I want to get back into it. Like, I recognize, like, this is the stage and kind of phase of life I'm in, and I'm okay with that. Instead, I've spent a lot of time, like, learning homesteading skills, because I realize, like, it takes a lot of concentration to write. And when you're being interrupted every 5 minutes, it's very hard to write. Not even 5 minutes, like, probably 2 minutes. And so I realized, like, this stage of life works better if I refocus my attention, where I can spend the time learning and teaching myself all these different like homesteading skills, like doing the bread, doing the canning, all that kind of stuff, because the kids can just kind of be, like, they're young, like they can just kind of be around my skirt tails, you know, just kind of existing, chilling out with me, just kind of going along with my day while I play around in the kitchen and such. Later on, I suspect I'll be using less like physical and emotional energy, keeping up with them and making sure they're all like staying alive and everything. But I'll be using more mental energy, you know, homeschooling or dealing with more complicated problems, because then they're older, more complicated people and such. And then I'll probably have more time to like be able to actually sit down and write. But I think it'll be like different how my energy is being used in caring for my kids. So I was like, you know what? I may not be getting a lot of writing done over the past couple years, but I've been enjoying time with my little ones, and I can dig into all the homesteading skills and stuff. So, but I do want to get back into writing. I feel like I'm in a place where I can at least fit in a bit of writing, like, you know, one night a week, be like, all right, I'm going to try and get some writing in. And also streaming. I want to get more streaming in, so I'm like, well, why not combine the two and then have fun writing some stories together? Let's see. Potato Cancer says, the fanfic phase, LOL. Have a nice stream, y'all. Thanks, Potato Cancer. Hopefully you can catch the VOD if you're not able to hang around. I know you were waiting for the other stream that didn't end up happening, so I appreciate that. Auxiliary Character says, I did some story writing in high school. I remember I enjoyed it. Haven't done much since. It's hard to make time for things once you're an adult and have a lot. Like, I feel like my creativity and like thinking about stories has greatly been hampered by the endless to-do list that's always in my brain. Writing, let's see. NORAD2 says, oh, that's Doe Baby. I hear him again. I heard him, and then he was quiet. Now I hear him again. And I think this time I might need to get him. I can hear the monitor. We'll give it another second. Let's see. NORAD2 says, I write a little fine fanfics every once in a while. I've been told I'm a decent writer, but I've never dedicated the time to a full-length story. It takes a good bit of commitment and time, and like a little, like, especially if you end up wanting to pursue like publishing, it takes a certain kind of grain of like insanity and craziness to like put yourself through that, because it does take a lot of work and like banging your head against the wall sometimes. Let's see, Lim Hong Lee. I think that's how you say it, Lim Hong Lee. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because despite being a published author, my dyslexia, or I'm pretty sure I have dyslexia. I'm so bad at sounding out words, and especially reading usernames. But anyway, he says, I wrote story for a competition, Cargain in Melee in high school and primary school for English and Melee. Alright, I'm gonna go grab Dough Baby. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see, where was I? Darren Root says, I hated writing stories because of school. Aw, man, that sucks. So glad I never went to school. I feel like it would have beat all my, my creative vigor for reading and writing out of me. Hello there, Soren. Good morning. Morning, Minna. Good morning to you, too. It's evening here, but morning for you, so good morning. Let's see. I am Jack Suffocating Nihilism asks, how does Japan handle homeschooling? I've never looked up, like, the laws around homeschooling. I'm curious now. I'm not sure if there are laws that apply. I think we have, like, we'd be, like, the exception for the rule, because we're, like, not, you know, part, like, residents or anything like that. We're, like, on visas or whatever, or however that works. But I don't know. I don't think we'd run into a problem with whatever our status is. But I'm curious now. I might look that up later, because I know, like, Japan, and especially Korea, South Korea, and a lot of other Asian cultures, the way they do school is so insane, where it's like you have to do school like all day every day, and it's like determines so much of your future, whereas like there's a lot more roads to success in like the States or other places where it's not all about what exactly you do in school. You could like go to trade school, or I don't know. It's kind of a totally different realms, I think. Let's see. School teacher, write a story is simple. Me, last I checked, story writers take years, not 30 minutes. 30 minutes to write a story. Oh gosh, I could get like maybe a couple sentences. If I had like starting from, man, yeah, no, I don't like, maybe a flash fiction, like, because we're gonna do some flash fiction, so like maybe like the tiniest like little, I don't know, 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. You could do something with 30 minutes, but depending on like what the expectation is, you gotta kind of, there's only so much you can do with 30 minutes. But I'm bad at writing now. In university final year, I had to write report for final year project. So I think that's a different kind of writing too, right? That was from Lim Hong Yi. I guess that's how you say it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like writing papers is definitely a bit of a different kind of writing. I'm sure still pulls like a lot of skills from like fiction writing. Let's see, darn root, nagging me isn't going to make me write faster. Yeah, oh gosh, that wouldn't help at all, no way. Well, hopefully you can enjoy the writing experience here. You can just sit back and relax and enjoy the flow of ideas and words on page or something like that. All right, I love when songs tell a story. Auxiliary character. So growing up, we listened to a lot of like classic rock while driving around in the car. And one of the things that I really liked is, I mean, if you look at the songs as an adult, you can tell like there's a lot of things that went over my head as a kid. But I love that all the songs felt like they had very strong stories that I could like picture in my head, of like what the characters were doing and stuff. So I also very much enjoy that. All right, we better, because, you know, we should probably, it's almost midnight here. I should cut myself off at 1 because also Temp is going to be, I believe, streaming, what's that one? Phasmophobia? I think he's going to be starting to stream at 1. So hopefully, let's take an hour, see how far we can get. And then I should really get to bed, and then you guys can go hang out with Temp. So that would be fun. Not me. Salty is streaming? Oh, okay. I must have misread your message wrong. Alright, we can raid Salty. Yay! I think last stream, he had been in chat, and then I hadn't realized he had started streaming as well, and so I like, it's so hard finding someone to raid at the time I end, because that's like the middle of the day for a lot of time zones, and so I have like no one to raid. So I was sad last stream when I raided something random and then realized Salty was streaming and I was like, no. Anyway, so we'll raid Salty. Oh, and Temp's playing with him. Cool, yay. Okay. All right, I got my water. Let's jump into it. All right, let's see. Lim Hongyi says, yeah, there is trade school called technical school in my country, such as IBET to learn hands-on skills, but I follow my father's path after high school, then college, A level, then university. Our country follow UK's standards. Yeah. Lots of ways to go about life. All right. Here, let's see here. Oh, I don't have a BGM either. Do you guys care? Do you guys want a BGM? I'm gonna try and find one. But first, I'm gonna look up like flash fiction examples. Just to kind of give you guys a couple examples, and then you guys can give me prompts, or we can kind of like do it together. And write some stories. Let's see here. Okay, this seems like this is the first link I clicked. It seems pretty good though. Here, I'm gonna like pre-read one of the stories just to see if it seems like some good stories. doesn't seem very flash fiction. Well, I guess so. Okay. Here, there's a... Okay, I click on these to go to links. Let me pick out one that seems good for us to read. Let's see. I'll probably just read them out. I won't try and screen grab these ones. I'll just read them out to give you guys an idea. Prompts, are you using ChatGPT to create stories? No. I was saying you guys give me prompts and ideas and then I make a story out of it. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, let me read to you some examples of flash fiction. This one is called Housewife, a short story by Amy Hempel, I think. And I think all there is to it is... I think that's all there is to it. Let me check. No, I don't like this one. Never mind. I don't know what's happening in that one. Okay. I'm trying to find a decent flash fiction. Okay. This one's a little more concise. All right, I'm just gonna read this one. It's called Likeable, and I'll just read it. All right. I can practice my voice. Hang on. I'll do like a quick warm up. I looked up some like voice warm-ups before and it was like, you got like maybe just do like some face stretches. Oh, I don't know if any of that will help, but let me try and get a good reading voice going. All right. She could see she was becoming a thoroughly unlikable person. Each time she opened her mouth, she said something ugly, and whoever was nearby liked her a little less. These could be strangers, these could be people she loved, or people she knew only slightly whom she had hoped would one day be her friends. Even if she didn't say anything, even if all she did is seem a certain way, have a look on her face, or make a soft sound of reaction, it was always unlikable, except in a few cases that she fixed herself on being likable for the next 4 seconds. More than that was impossible, and sometimes that worked, but not always. Why couldn't she be more likable? What was the problem? Did she just not enjoy the world anymore? Had the world gotten away from her? Had the world gotten worse? Maybe, probably not. Or probably in some ways, but not in the ways that were making her not like it. Did she not like herself? Well, of course she didn't, and there was nothing new to that. Or had she become less likable simply by growing older, so that she might be doing the same thing she always did, but because she was now 41, not 20, it had become unlikable because any woman doing something at 41 is more unlikable than a woman doing it at 20. And does she sense this? Does she know she is intrinsically less likable, and instead of resisting, does she lean into it as into a cold wind? Maybe, likely. She used to resist, but now she sees the futility. So each morning when she opens her mouth, she is unlikable, proudly so, and each evening before sleep she is unlikable, and each day it goes on this way. She getting more unlikable by the hour until one morning She will be so unlikable, inconceivably unlikable, that she will have to be shoved in a hole and left there. Well, that was a weird story. I don't even know if that... I guess it was a story. So, one thing is, it's probably easy to get... There's a difference between a vignette and a story. Vignette is like a snapshot or like a scene. A story has a clear beginning, middle, and end, and something changes. There's some like conflict that is then resolved at the end. That's like the very bare bones what you need to like have a story. So this one just felt like weird venomism. Didn't like it. I didn't like that. We're gonna move on. Let's see if we can find a different one. But that one was 335 words. All right, let's see. Let me try one more, and then we'll probably just like jump into trying to write some stuff. Here, let me give this one a glance over to see if it's worth reading. That other one wasn't really worth it. This one I think was longer. I feel like these are not good examples of flash fiction. Let me try and go somewhere else. Let me try here. Let's look at the definition. Guide. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Let's just start with this. This is the ultimate guide to flash fiction and how to write your own. All right, we'll read this, then we'll just jump in because otherwise I didn't have time to sort through any good flash fiction, so we'll go with this. All right. Skimming to find the good bits. Okay, what is flash fiction? Flash fiction isn't anything new. It can be traced right back to the humble fable in ancient Greece and India. Okay, much later in the 1900s, flash fiction became the short story featuring the short story featuring in mainstream publications such as Cosmopolitan and anthologies such as the American Short Story. All right, cool. Let's see. In 1925, Ernest Hemingway released In Our Time, a collection that included 18 vignettes or flash fiction pieces. Okay, so maybe flash fiction is more closely tied to vignettes. So my goal is to have like a complete story and not just a vignette. Hemingway is also attributed by some as the author of one of the world's most famous flash fiction pieces. See flash fiction tip 3. Okay, well, we might read that one. All right, let's see. Where do the tips begin? All right. The term flash fiction technically refers to any work of fiction up to, but always under 1,000 words. All right. Let's see. However, there's a range of subgenres within the wider flash fiction genre. All right, stories under 10 words. Whew. For example, the 4-word story. All right, here we go. It's a 4-word story, and it goes, Widow's First Year by Joyce Carol Oates, and it goes, I kept myself alive. That hits. Yeah. Let's see, example, the 6-word story often attributed to Hemingway. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. Let's see. Stories under 55. Okay, so you could do like super. I feel like for today, I'm gonna try and stick to words, like maybe a little mini story under like 100 words, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. How to write flash fiction. Writing flash fiction is an exercise in restraint. The limited word count requires you to be economical with words. Very true. It is hard to write short. Many of my projects often become much longer than I try and make them. Let's see. There isn't space to be coy or to waver on the meaning. Arbitrary or purpose is not an option. Flash fiction leaves no room for self-doubt either. You must put aside your inner critic. You need to be confident and brave, and you need to believe in your writer's voice. All right, let's see. Let's get to the tips. Let's see. Difference between flash fiction and poetry. Okay, tip 1. Set the scene instantly. The opening of any piece of writing is important. Yes, openings, very important. All right, let's see. Drop your reader straight into the conflict, into the very guts of the story. By the end of your first scene, you want your reader engrossed in the opening scene. I mean, that's a good way to start pretty much any story, though it depends. You have to, like, if you drop a reader into a story where there's things happening to the characters, but the reader doesn't yet know the characters or care about the characters, they're not going to care about your story. You have to get the reader first interested and wanting to know or learn or care about the character. And you can also like get their attention by like raising questions in that first paragraph of like, especially like a novel, having like setting up where there's like a question, like there's questions that come up of like, why is this thing happening or what's happening here? And then you answer it, but then also plant another question. And that's a good way to kind of pull a reader, sink your hooks into a reader, pull them into the story. Let's see, be intimate. When writing flash fiction, already know what you're writing about. Understand what your characters are feeling and experiencing. Pretend you're a director and see each of your scenes in slow motion. It's an interesting way to put it. All right, let's see. 3. Use microscope focus. In flash fiction, there's only room for one small idea, a micro experience. Big ideas are for novellas and novels. If your idea inspires you to think about further plot lines, character conflicts, and subplots, that's okay. Consider exploring those ideas for a novel at some point in time. For now, think small so you can focus precisely on one thing. I feel like you could even like pull like a scene from a novel and like see it as a flash fiction if it's got the right, at least one arc of there's something happening, there's a conflict, there's a resolution to the conflict. Let's see. For now, think small so you can focus precisely on one thing. Microscope focus doesn't allow for backstory or resolution. Let's see. For example, the famous flash fiction piece, supposedly by Ernest Hemingway, For Sale, Baby Shoes Never Worn. Talk about small ideas. Because they're baby shoes, they're small. Haha. This story has only 6 words, but it is all the more profound because of it. Ultimately, it doesn't matter why the baby shoes weren't worn. The reason doesn't change the tragedy, and the tragedy isn't lost. Let's see, 4, know your characters. 5, be economical with language. 6, edit. 7, read. There's some prompts at the end. All right, that's good enough for me. All right, back over to you, chat. Let's see. Definitely a bitter vignette. Yeah, that was that first one. Is that just house? That was just called like Housewife 2. I don't know. That one was weird. Sounded like someone that just kind of given up in some ways. Hello there, chicken tender. Hi, Minna. Let's see. Wild Dodge. It reminds of Ugly Barnacle. There once was an ugly barnacle who was so ugly everyone died. The end. I've heard that one. I feel like that was a very summer camp kind of thing. Welcome back, live stream. Hello there, Super Bulldozer. Let's see. Writing sounds hard. Yeah, it can be for sure. Oh wait, 6th word story. For sale, Minna's bread, never baked. How can it be bread if it's never been baked? It would be dough. For sale, Minna's bread, never eaten. Always fresh. All right, let's get into it here. Let me see if I can pull up. All right, you guys start. So one thing think about when thinking about stories is you need 2 strings, 2 ideas for like to like string like a story together, or scenes. That's like the more string you can add more strings, but you need at least 2 sort of ideas that are like going along each other at the same time or often conflicting. So for example, first idea, you have clowns traveling across the desert. Second idea, there's a clown eating worm that lives in the desert. So now there's conflict. There's 2 things going on. So there's an example of 2 strings. So throw some ideas at me. It could be just like some random topic or object, or if you have like 2 conflicting things, just like throw some ideas at me to write a story about. And I'm gonna see if I can write like a little tiny story about it. If we can't come up with anything, that article seemed to have prompts, flash fiction prompts, but I'd rather get ideas from you guys. All right, let's open up a document. See what we can do here. All right, just gotta go to OBS and figure out capturing this. Oh, do you guys want music? I haven't put on any music, but I can if you guys want me to. Let's see. Or I could just be the music. Though you'll probably want some music, because I'm gonna probably have times of me like thinking and not talking as much. Let's see, window capture. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's see, let me just resize this. Here, I might move myself. Hang on. I can't put myself in that corner. That's so weird. So weird. I'm probably just gonna be like peeking out over top of the document, so you guys can hopefully see enough of it. I forget the trick for like trimming. I know there's a trick for like trimming the window capture, but I can't remember what it is. This is probably good enough though. Got our document here. And just for fun, one fun kind of silly little quirky thing to do if you want is, let's see. Instead of doing like your initial writing or like rough draft in like New Times Roman, do it in, where is it at? Here we go, Comic Sans. It's fun. All right, let's see here. Harmonica. Are you talking about my singing? Clowns traveling across the desert sounds like my first deployment. Oh, that's pretty funny. And there is also a clown that keeps putting cream pies in my shoe as a form of confession. You gotta love clown after you. Mammals versus reptiles. Let's see, a child obsessed with finding where the donut holes go, and a society preparing to go to war. Okay, that's really fun. Random Minna sounds for background music. Okay, random Minna sounds it is then. Hi, hello there, Shadow Prince. Alright, I got my water. Alright, a child obsessed with finding where the donut holes go, and a society preparing to go to war. That's pretty funny. That's wacky. That's a little out there, but I like it. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see. Everything still look good? I think so. Here. Here, I might. If I do this, I want to make sure I can still see chat. Or maybe I shouldn't see you guys so you don't distract me. Just deciding what windows, how to arrange my little setup here. Alright, anyways, alright. So we've got, let's plot first. Plot. Maybe I'll make the make it really big so you guys can see. Plot. Where do the donut holes go? I wonder if I can zoom in. Hang on. How do I zoom in? Hang on. Where's my zoom in button? I know there's one. Somewhere. I thought there was a way to zoom in. Can you guys see that okay? I'll just do really big words. Fill up the page. Alright, plot. Boy looking for donut holes. Alright, also, again, I'm very bad at reading and writing, despite the fact that I'm good at telling stories. I'm very bad at reading and writing, so just ignore any weird typing habits or typos or mistakes I make. This is why rough drafts always suck. Everything gets cleaned up in post. That's why we have editing. Alright, boy looking for donut holes. War about to start. Alright, so there's our two things. I feel like the scene takes place, the scene's a donut shop. You know, I like spelling donut like this, though. I guess that's not technically the right way, but I like spelling it that way better. That is a way to spell it, right? Donut? No, I think I'm just going crazy. I'll spell it the way the translate button says. Donut shop, donut. Right, so it's happening at a donut shop. Should it end tragically? War of Clowns. Are you using Microsoft Word? Zoom in on the bottom right. If not, I'm mistaken. I'm on LibreOffice because I haven't felt like paying for more Word. I think I had Word for a while. And then I think when I changed, like, got a new computer, it didn't come with the computer, and I would have to buy it, and I think it turned into, like, a subscription, so you can't even do, like, a one-time thing. I was just like, nah. I'll just use LibreOffice. Alright, let's see. I feel like he's gonna run out into the street. I feel like it's gonna end with him something about him running into the street. And so in this society, are there no donut holes? Do they not sell donut holes? let's see, because like there's a way you can make donuts kind of without making the donut hole. Though no, not so much. You make bagels easily by kind of just like wrapping, like making a long one and then wrapping around. Chasing a donut hole, maybe that's what I was thinking too. Is like if he's trying to follow the donut hole to see where it goes. I'm trying to think of more context for this world. If there's like some new revelation where he's like, wait, donuts don't just come shaped like that. There's a hole in the middle. But it didn't start out with a hole, so where'd the donut hole go? Maybe the donut holes are being shipped off to the soldiers. Maybe he follows the donut hole and finds all the soldiers eating them. And then he realizes war has begun. It's a secret kept by the elders, and the people want to learn this forbidden knowledge. We gotta keep the idea concise. Can't expand it too much. It's about this boy, and he wants to know about donut holes. And the context of the world is that they're getting ready for war. The shop tender is conscripted as he's about to reveal his secrets. I want to just focus on the boy, about the boy's experience. All of like what's happening in society is like the background of what's happening around him. But the core or concise idea is this boy trying to figure out where the donut holes go. So, So how are the donuts made in this world? Are they made the usual way? It would also help. Oh, wait, no, wait. The boy's noticing the change for... This is the way the boy is noticing that things are changing. Hang on. The donut. Is how he is noticing that there is change and something big is about to happen. So the reveal of that, the country's getting ready for war, that's like the reveal. That's like the explanation and the sort of like, because you, especially short stories, you want some sort of like moment of like gut punch or twist or surprise. Like you like have one good twist or one good emotional, even if it's not like a twist, some emotional impact moment is almost like critical for short stories because you're very limited. And you need something that really kind of hits and that the reader like sticks and remembers. So let's see, so what is happening? What is happening to the donut holes? All right, here's some possible answers. They are giving them to soldiers. 2, rationing. We might do some research. This is also my process of how to like come up with a story out of an idea. Kind of brainstorm. You sort of throw some stuff on the page. You hit something like, donuts, flour, like rations. Do some research on what rationing was like during the war. To then play that in. So maybe we'll do that in a second. The rationing and like flour or sugar shortages. What'd I do? No, I don't know how to spell rationing. This is when I go to Google and I type in my closest guess at a word to then find out what the actual word is. Happens many times when I'm writing. Ah, there we go. Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that. Unformatted. There you go. All right. Rationing, flour, and sugar shortages. And research is also a great way to help spark new ideas, because then you get more information, more knowledge about something, and then you're like, oh, this could tie into this, or I didn't know about that. I can make this work here. Hello there, John Arcs, Arcs, I think. Let's see, the store used to sell the holes, but the boy hasn't seen them in a while and tries to find out. Yeah, I feel like that's the start, is the donut, there's something off about the donut shop and there's no holes anymore. And that's like one of his first or like most noticeable indications to him that something's different, something's going on. And so that he tries to find out, and then at the end he realizes it's because their land or whatever is about to go to war. Ooh, thank you. Just checked out LibreOffice. They have document, PowerPoint, and spreadsheet features just like Microsoft. Yeah, it's like Microsoft, but free, and I probably limited in some ways. And like also like if someone needs like a Microsoft document, I just like put it into some sort of like converter, like just Google like, you know, LibreOffice to Microsoft Word converter and like put the file in there and then, you know, send that to the person that needs a Microsoft file. Or if I have a Microsoft file, I just, you know, left click and do open with LibreOffice. But hey, I'm glad you glad I could share the info and it can be of use to you, Lim. So, woo! You can also export as doc. Yeah, that's probably simpler too. All right, so let's see. All right, so I like this idea of some sort of rationing and flour thing. So now I'm gonna do some research, some Googling. So let's look up wartime rationing. Let's look up flour first. Wartime rationing flour. See what that gets us. Let's see, rationing, the 1940s experiment. Oh, and then this is where I just opened way too many tabs on my computer to slowly go over. Let's see. Opening a bunch of links. Let's see. I don't know if I want to try and screen grab. I'll probably just scan and read real quick. If you guys have any information on rationing or random history facts, let me know. Let's see, here we go. How to use, oh no, let's see, soya flour. Okay, here we go. Soya flour is a body-building food like meat, fish, eggs, cheese. It is not quite such a good builder as these others, but it is most useful in increasing the value of dishes which contain very little or none of the other bodybuilding foods. It also contains a high proportion of fat, so that dishes containing soya flour will have good energy value and prove satisfying and lasting. Cooking hints for soups, gravies, etc. Soya flour will not thicken in the same way as wheat flour or corn flour. and in sauces and gravies should be used in conjunction with other flour. Mix soya flour with plain flour in the proportion of half as much soya flour. Proceed as usual. Okay, this is interesting. You guys want to know why it's interesting? I could grab a book and read you a passage from a book, and it talks about soya. I wonder, man, now I'm really curious. Maybe a deep dive for another time. The connection between different things that happened because of the war or post-war that have influenced the way we do food now. A lot of it's probably negative. Let me see if I can grab this book real quick, because I want to read you. I don't know. I wonder how they made it back then. The soya flour. I wonder how they made it back then. But I could tell you how they make it now. Do you guys want to know how they make soya products now? I'll tell you in just a second. Hang on, let me go get it. Soy, no, you can't make me. You're on the right track, Ben. Don't let them give you the soy. I just came from church to say hi. I gotta go back out though. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, Ben. Hope you have a great Sunday. Let's see, I actually asked Google for that, but recently I have been using ChatGPT. Ask her what this is and that. I mean, I was gonna use ChatGPT for something, but then realized I had to like sign up with an email, and it was complicated, and then I was like, never mind, I don't care. No soy, please. You guys are right. Here, let me just read you a little something. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta read you something about soy. All right, I got the book. Let me just read you a little something about soya. Let me just find the page. All right, here you go. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? No soya, please. Soya is a very big business, particularly in the USA. A large percentage of the industry uses genetically modified soya. Some 95% of all soya produced in the world is genetically modified. Soya is cheap to produce and is very profitable. It can be found in many processed foods: margarine, salad dressing, and sauces, breads, biscuits, cookies, pizza, baby food, children's snacks, sweets, cakes, vegetarian products, dairy replacements, infant milk formulas, etc. Is there a problem with that? Let us have a look at some facts. Why is YouTube shadow banning my comments? I don't know. I'm not even being edgy. I'm not sure where to look to try and see what the shadow ban is doing. Apparently, Bagster was shadow banned for 3 months, and then finally, I think, because I was listening to his YouTuber advice stream, and he said it was ridiculous going back and forth with YouTube, and it was finally, he found out it was because his name was Ugly Bagster, and the ugly, I guess, made him shadow banned in a lot of people's chats. Super unfortunate and weird. But anyway, okay. Shadow bans aside. Alright, let's see how it's made. How is soya product made? Traditionally, soya has been used in Japan and other Eastern cultures as a whole bean fermented as soy sauce, tofu, miso, tempon, natto, and other recipes. Soya beans are very hard to digest and contain a lot of anti-nutrients harmful to health, so traditional cultures have taken time and care to process soya beans to make them digestible and to remove anti-nutrients. Unfortunately, none of that wisdom made its way to the West. The form in which soya is used in the West is called soya protein isolate. How is it made? After their fiber has been removed with an alkaline solution, the soya beans are put into large aluminum tanks with an acid wash. Acid makes the soya beans absorb aluminum, which will remain in the end product. Aluminum has been linked to dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and indeed, there's been a lot of publicity recently linking soya consumption with these mental disorders. After the aluminum acid wash, the bean is treated with many other chemicals, including nitrates, which have been implicated in cancer development. The end product is an almost tasteless powder, easy to use and add to any food. All Western soya products are made from this highly processed powder, which is included in most processed foods, breads, soya milk products, and soya infant formulas. Soya is a natural, how do you say that? Goitrogene? I don't know. Goitrogen. Don't know how to pronounce that. It has an ability to impair thyroid function due to the various toxins found. So this is from the GAPS book, which is like a specific diet for really, it's like boot camp for your gut. And so it's a very precise diet for really working on your gut health. So due to the various toxins found in GAPS patients, there are almost no exceptions. Hyperthyroid, which means that their thyroid function is already impaired. Low thyroid function has very serious implications for adults and children. Having soya products in the diet would damage thyroid function even further. Soya beans have a very high concentration of phytates. These are anti-nutrients found in all grains as well, particularly in their bran. Phytates, I think I'm saying that right, have a strong ability to bind to materials, preventing them from being absorbed, particularly calcium, magnesium, iron, and zinc. Children and adults with chronic diseases are already deficient in these vital minerals. Adding soya to their diet would make these deficiencies worse. Other anti-nutrients have been found in soya, such as enzyme inhibitors and lectins. Soya is a powerful allergen. Ample research has demonstrated that immune abnormalities in children and adults. I'll read that again. Ample research has demonstrated that Western soya products cause many forms of allergies and other immune abnormalities in children and adults. For sensitive people, particularly people with eczema, asthma, hay fever, and allergies, it is important to look for soya-free eggs, milk, meat, and milk. This means that animals must not be fed soya in any form. Truly, soya-free foods may be difficult to find, as the majority of soya products goes into animal feed, including nutritional supplements for animals. A farmer may not be able to avoid soya completely unless he makes his own animal feed. Sensitive people may need to find such farmers and buy eggs, meat, and milk directly from them. Unfortunately, in my experience, eggs, milk, or meat may be labeled soya-free in a shop, but they are not truly so. Initially, soya gained popularity in the West as a treatment for menopause because it contains natural estrogen and, or maybe that's estrogen, there's an O at the beginning, or phytostatins, I don't know how to say that. More water. Let's see, so for menopause, we now know that these substances are not useful for menopausal women and are downright dangerous for the rest of the population, particularly for small children. There is growing concern among health professionals about the amount of phytoestrogens, I don't know how to say that, among health professionals, infants and small children might be getting from soya milk and infant formulas. Any person with a degenerative illness, whether child or adult, already has abnormal hormonal balances in the body. Adding another interference in the form of, I think it's pathogens. That's the word I was struggling with, pathogens. Is not a good idea. More research is coming out showing that Western soya products are implicated in cancer, heart disease, diabetes, mental illness, and learning disabilities, autoimmune diseases, and many other chronic illnesses. So, did this all start because of wartime rationing? I do wonder now. So these are the kind of rabbit holes that you could fall down. Especially if you're working like a bigger story, fall down the rabbit holes, find the information, see how it works with your story, see what new ideas it sparks. All right, baby. Here, I'm gonna try and rest my voice a second. I don't know, my voice has been getting a little scratchy lately. I should probably do like voice warm-ups before stream or something. Or maybe just like the reading a bunch. All right. Man, now my brain's on that. All right, I'm gonna scan some articles real quick. You know, I bet they would take, maybe like, instead of having just the donut holes, maybe they would take the dough and like use it again to like make more donuts. Instead of doing the hole, like leaving the holes. Maybe they get more bang for their buck if they use the donut holes to just make more donuts. And maybe that's why there's no more donut holes. Write that down. I haven't tried that one, making donuts, to see like if that would mess them up. I guess probably not, because you'd be making them and then letting them proof, so it would probably be fine. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's almost 1 already. See, when I type something and it doesn't show up. Oh, talking about the shadow band, right. Let's see. The world is a big chess game between big corn and big soy, and we're all just living in it, man. We live in a dystopia. And they make our milk illegal. They become soy donuts. Maybe they start tasting, probably start tasting different too. But man, isn't it hard to just like not be ingesting things that are actively working against your body? You have to work so hard to avoid things that are actively harming you in your food. What a world. All right, let's see, what else can I find about rationing? So I think we've got kind of the sort of gist of our plot. There's a boy, so we got a character. He notices something's up with the donuts. He wants to find out what's up with the donuts. Maybe there's like a small roadblock, and then he finds what's up is that a war is about to start. Let's see, let me just see what other details I can find. Where's my... Here we go. I wonder if I look up wartime rationing for bakeries. What was it like for bakeries when, like, some of your main things like butter and like all the stuff you need for baking was rationed? So how could you run your bakery? Let's look up a few things. You can fall down some really fun rabbit holes when coming up with stories. I know there's like channels too that show like Depression era cooking or wartime cooking or just old random recipes that use like the weirdest randomest things to like make cakes and stuff because you didn't have your normal things available. Let's see here. Oh, that's a video. Usually I like videos. I like being able to listen to videos for research. And that wouldn't work as well right now. Let's see, let me just skim since I don't want to spend too long. Let's see. Oh, these are some interesting recipes. Apple brown Betty, apples, breadcrumbs, melted butter, lemon juice, dark syrup, cinnamon. Alright, that's not giving me what I want. Let's try this one. Honestly, we probably have enough. Sometimes you can do too much research, especially if you're like in the beginning of like plotting a story. And sometimes you hit a point where it's like you just gotta start. Like even if you don't have everything perfect, you just gotta start. Because oftentimes the story ends up throwing a curveball at you, or there's something in the midst of writing that comes up that you wouldn't have thought of if you'd just kept sitting there thinking about the story. You gotta find what kind of process works for you, of like how much like pre-planned stuff or prep or planning, or if you want to just kind of like pants it and like throw it all on the page and then like do a whole bunch of editing later to sort it all out. Let's see. Oh. There's some different little recipes of cakes they would make. Let's see. Wartime ration book, flour. Okay, needless to say, things would have been different, so we'll probably just work off of that. If I wasn't streaming, I'd probably sit and read through or watch through some things to give me a little more ideas or depth possibly, but I feel like we have enough. Especially from like a kid's point of view, like it's enough to know that something's different. So let's see if we can throw out a rough draft tonight before I go to bed. Almost out of water. Oh yeah, the old gelatin recipes weirded me out. I don't like the idea of savory jello. Wasn't that more of like a 70s thing? What kind of gelatin recipes are you thinking of? Like, think of those really weird ones where it's like hot dogs or something in it. I have made meat jelly where like I used pig feet and like made a broth, but you know, with the pig feet and other, I think it was like pig feet and like some pig hocks. And so made a broth that was like super rich in collagen and gelatin. And then like shredded off a little bit of meat that was on like the feet and the hocks and whatnot. And then you basically like put that in a bowl and then chill it, and then you can then you have the meat jelly. I feel like mine ended up being a bit salty. I forget how exactly I did. It was kind of just okay. I'll probably give it another try at some point. There's blood gelatin in Germany. Is that blood pudding? Well, that's actually also I have a recipe for it actually in the in this little Gaps book. Because man, the organ meat is excellent for you. Let's see, what was the recipe for blood pudding? I need to do some stuff with liver too. Oh, I was happy at the grocery store today. Got a whole chicken, and then they had sort of mainly sort of the sort of rib, the main part of the chicken. But it was for making stock or broth or whatnot. And so it was just kind of that main kind of bony frame of the chicken with some meat hanging on it. Didn't have the breast or anything, but it was just a nice kind of meaty, bony bit of the chicken to use for making stock. And there's also a package for just necks if you want just necks. It's nice. I like having those options here. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find that blood pudding recipe for you. I think it's this way. Liver pudding for babies and small children. Got liver, egg, butter, onion, and I'm guessing you kind of puree all that together. Oh, look at that data. Oh, there's the blood. Oh, it's called black pudding. Yeah, I think the toddler liver thing or whatever is you make it all a paste and then put it on a sheet of baking paper and cook with steam. You can use a pan or place a dish in it. Okay, cool. I'll just try that. Alright, so the black pudding. You need some fresh or frozen blood. Some black pepper, herbs, and spices. Some winter squash. Sour tasting berries, fresh or frozen. Interesting. Sea buckhorn, red currants, raspberries. Interesting. Handful of fermented veggies, an onion, and a good fat like tallow or pork fat or goose fat. Curious, how exactly do you make it? Just giving it a quick scan. Put spices in the blood, I think. Put in the onions and winter squash. Put in the sola, that's like pork skin that's just been in a salt brine, I think. Grease a deep tray, pour a mixture, bake in the oven. Black pudding is part of a traditional English breakfast. It can be added to any dish with meat or veggies to increase its nutritional value and improve the taste. I'm not sure where to get blood, but if I did, I'd try it. Alright, I should get back to the story. I keep getting distracted. You know, there's blood pudding in China called blood tofu or pig blood curd. See, that's the other thing. I was thinking about the the US, and like we don't have any like traditional clothing. Like in so many other cultures, there's like traditional clothing. Like, you know, Japan has, you know, the oh gosh, now I'm blanking. Kimonos and stuff. But we like I was like trying to think of like, well, one, like there's all the different little states and there's sort of cultures within each of those regions. And I'm like, cowboys are kind of a very like distinguished American thing, but that was more just like a very, you know, a point in history you can point out. Like, I don't know. We don't really have any like traditional clothes, or I guess like a lot of our stuff came from England, I guess. And like as far as food goes, we probably had a lot more like sort of traditional things. Like if you think of like homesteading, preserving your food and stuff. Like we have our fermentation of our veggies and stuff like that. Like all that kind of stuff is really good. It's like, you know, back before everything was super industrialized and like streamlined, where it's like you only want the really good cuts of meat, or you can like disconnect the food from where it comes from. Whereas like when you're making all your own food, it's like you want to use up everything. You don't want to lose any of your crop, and you don't have like large scale equipment or, you know, refrigeration or a bunch of storage. And so all these ways humans have developed to like preserve their food like also goes hand in hand with better nutrition and gut health, which is interesting. Going on gut health rants again though. I got a story to write. I can only think of like cowboy wear and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's like it's almost like isolated. Like I don't even think like all of the states experience that. I don't know. It's like a very distinctly American thing, but it's not the same as like traditional clothing from other cultures because they have a much older history. That's the beauty of the US, is that we are a pod of different cultures mixed in all together. I feel like there's a bit of a, I don't know, it's kind of a bit of an identity crisis of like, when you're the melting pot, it's hard to have something to hold up to be like, this is, you know, connects to like almost all of America. How much do the cultures in different states differ? It can differ a lot. Like I don't know, if you're kind of like, especially if it's like regions like in the South versus the Midwest versus the North versus all the hippie towns, like it's, I don't know, sometimes it almost doesn't seem compatible how wide the range of what people want from different areas. We can go back to powdered wigs and 1800 clothing. Yeah, there's that too, like founding father kind of look, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'd have to look up what exactly makes like cultural clothing the like staple. Because I'm sure like there's lots of span of history of, you know, say like the kimono. So it's like, what makes the kimono the cultural outfit? I don't know. Again, going on rants and random things again. Like, she makes use of everything of pork. Nothing gone to waste. The meat, the fat, the blood, liver, etc. Using her knowledge to do business and survive in ancient China. I mean, yeah, that's how it used to be. And it's like, I think there's someone that was like pointing out that like, you know, red meat is not bad for you. Like, I think like, I don't know, I guess for some people it is. I don't know. Overall, I'm like, it's hard for me to believe that things like eggs or like red meat is that bad for you. A lot of times things are like bad for you. I feel like it's more of the the quality of the thing over the actual thing itself. Like, you know, people that have a hard time with like the weird pasteurized milk that we have, if they have some A2 raw milk, their body processes it so much better because it's like the real food, the real source. Anyway, I was gonna say though, but yeah, like if you have like the nice cuts of meat and like the big thick muscles, but then you aren't also feeding your body with like the bone broth or the organs, then it's kind of imbalanced. Like your body's probably does much better with like the wider variety of the animal to, you know, fully nourish and balance out everything your body needs. Isn't jeans or denim an American thing? That's kind of like modern fashion, right? Though I do know, like, I'm pretty sure like the business suit and like business casual, I think Milliardo, because when I was talking about this with Milliardo, and he pointed out that the sort of suit design I think was inspired or kind of came from like old military style and clothing of like, you know, the dress wear or such. And I guess at this point is kind of like the widest accepted like what business attire looks like, I guess. I don't know. That was what I think that's what he mentioned. There's someone that I follow on Instagram, that I think they're out in Canada and they raise buffalo. I think it's like backwoods buffalo or something is her like Instagram handle. And she talks a lot about like harvesting the whole animal. And I think they ended up doing buffalo because of like, you know, they're native to that area and like the way the split hooves are is a lot better for the land and almost kind of tills it a little bit instead of compacting it like the cow's hooves. But I think when they go, and she refers to it as harvesting, go and like harvest one of the buffalo, and I think they'll just like go out in the field with their tractor and all their stuff and just like, you know, dress the buffalo out in the field. And like, you know, you have your animals, you take good care of them, and it's like, if you do it right, like they don't even know like that they're about to have a bad day or their life's about to end. It's just like they're there doing their thing, and then, you know, it's just like a switch, lights out. And then but she talked about like harvesting it and like using everything, and like being, you know, conscious and grateful for like all the different parts of the animals and how it can feed her family or other families, because it's like a bit of their small business is, you know, they've got all these buffalo and they harvest and they sell the meat and such, and they do it in a very holistic way, I guess, trying to like use everything, be very conscious, use it well, and that kind of stuff. Going on tangents again. Circle of life. Yep. All right, let's see. Let's go back to the story. I'll talk. This topic, man. This topic. It's so easy to go down the rabbit hole with it. All right, let's see. So we've got a pretty solid, I think, story. We're like an hour in. More than an hour. I really shouldn't stay up too late. All right, let's see if we can just... I've kind of got the basics in my head. I'm just going to kind of like zone in for a second, type some things out, see what we get. All right, we need a good starting line. Let's see. We need to be able to establish... the character, the setting, and a hook. That could be a question, a like interesting, surprising, shocking statement, a want, like what does the character want. It's been many times I've gone back and like really edited the very opening to really fine tune the right one. Let's see. Sometimes you can't overthink it. You just got to get words down. Can't edit a blank play page. So let's start with probably like a Sunday brunch. You know, churches, you know, after church, there's some donuts. This is kind of a bit of a clunky sentence, but let's just put it down. Now, what perspective do we want? Like first person, third person? Probably third person. I got a better one, hang on. What should we name the kid? For now, I'll put an X. We need to give him a name, though. We'll do week, I think, instead. Alright, what's the kid's name? Let's see. Let's see, it's tough because most of America is made of different cultures, but I would think as far as cultural clothing from America, it would probably be Native America clothing, but I don't think so, because like that's its own culture in itself. Like we kind of, you know, that's still an existing culture too, so I don't think you could really, because like they were already here, and so then we came in their own culture, and they still have like they're still here too. So I wouldn't say that that's American culture, because that's Native American culture. Culture is something weird, needs thousands of years to develop. It's definitely most like honed in and noticeable after thousands of years. Alright, I need a name for this kid. X started to worry on the third week that they didn't have donut holes. No one else at the Sunday brunch seemed to notice. Or if they did, they never said anything about it. Many things the grown-ups see, I want to like give the sense that it's like he can tell there's tension, that there's like an unsaid thing going on that isn't talked about around him because he's a kid. See, something. Heard mommy whispering to daddy. Maybe they were hiding the donut holes from him. Let's see, that was just another line that popped in my head, so I wrote that down. Let's see, how do I convey this? I'll just put down, there are many things the grown-ups seem to never say. Often, mommy whispering. No. Where no. No, I don't need that one. Don't need that sentence. I'll stick with this one. Maybe kind of the bare bones. Could always go with Classic Bob. That doesn't sound like a very kid name. Dugna? Dugna? Dugna of the family of holes. No, that doesn't work. Tommy. We'll name him Tommy. It's a very kid-like name. Let's see. Tommy started to worry on the third week that they didn't have donut holes. No one else at the Sunday brunch seemed to notice. Or if they did, they never said anything about it. There are many things the grown-ups seem to never say. Tommy around him, maybe. There are many things the grown-ups seem to never say around him. Tommy often heard Mommy whispering to Daddy. Maybe they were hiding the donut holes from him. Alright, let's see how to connect to the next part. I feel like this little paragraph we've got the character Tommy. We've got his question or his want, which is, where did the donut holes go? There's a sense of mystery and question. So that's a pretty good start. Now I feel like, all right, so he's at a Sunday brunch. Do I want to, like, I might not want to jump around scenes. Do I want to jump around scenes, or do I want to keep it at the Sunday brunch and somehow have things connect that he finds out? Because I was, like, imagining him, like, finding the baker. How does he find out exactly that it's a war? Tommy the Doughboy, FYI. Yeah, I know, but yeah, the Doughboys, it's what the Europeans called the Americans during World War I, as they were fresh and hadn't fought too long in the war. Yep. Actually, at the beginning, very beginning of streaming, I considered having the fan name be Doughboys. Could still be Doughboys. It's pretty fun. But I don't know if that would get too confused with Dough Baby and Dough Kid. There's just too much dough going around. At some point we should probably nail down like a solid fan name. A general walks in eating donut holes. I feel like he needs to, maybe he sneaks in to the bakery. He sneaks into the bakery and then maybe witnesses like the shortage of like flour and stuff. Or here we go. The 4th week. should probably do. Let's see. The 4th week was even worse. Not only did the donuts taste different, not only did the donuts taste different, Mommy let's see, the 4th week was even worse. Not only did the donuts taste different, but Mommy had said no when he asked to make cookies. She had sat down let's see. She had sat down and tried to explain something to him, but he didn't hear. I guess I probably don't even need to, because I've got a line here now about the mom trying to explain to him that, like, you know, I'm imagining the mom trying to sit down and explain, you know, things are going to look different now. We're not going to make cookies except for special occasions. We can't, you know, do things like we used to. He doesn't really understand it. It kind of goes over his head. He just knows he's sad because he wanted cookies and they're not making cookies. So I don't even think that they need to, that we need like a scene at the bakery of him seeing the food shortage, because we're getting it in this line here. We're sort of implying it in this line here. You could talk to the guy who delivered the donuts. I was also thinking that, or like maybe it's, oh, it could be like his parents' turn to pick up the donuts for after church. Also, Tommy was what the Americans called the British Allies. Huh, funny, I didn't know that. Let's see, so it'll probably be... And it'll probably be like a guy in a uniform walks into the donut shop when they're there picking up donuts. How do we get the message to sink in? Maybe he like has watched things. Older wars. I'd have to put something towards the beginning of him understanding or having like an interest in wars, so that then he like makes the connection quickly. But we can go back to that in a second. Let's do they couldn't bake together like they used to. But he didn't hear. He was too sad. I probably overused commas. I'm just gonna make it a period now. He was too sad they couldn't bake together. I want to say like, you know, bake together as much or stuff, but he's probably thinking like little kid brain. On week 6, he'd almost had enough. He wanted donut holes. On week 6, he'd almost had enough of this. He wanted donut holes. Let's see. See, this is kind of a new paragraph. Let's see. Let's see, I wonder like his joy or like at last. I'm trying to keep it like his perspective, so I don't want to use too flowery of language. On week 6, well, I should probably do 6. He almost had enough of this. He wanted donut holes. But this Sunday was different. It was there. Let's see. Stop. Select. Oh, I have a cute way to end this. The baker might make him a donut hole, which would be really cute. This sentence here will probably get trimmed in post or made more concise or not needed or something. Surely there were donut holes in the donut shop. It's just, yeah. I'll keep it for now, but that will probably be trimmed or concise. Let's see. Oh, it's already 1:30. I'll make a rough draft And then I'll probably go through and edit this and then post it on Twitter or something. Maybe in the community page on YouTube. Yeah, I went ahead and deleted that. Scanning the counter. No, it's more like a glass case. Glass case. Scanning glass case with row after row of perfectly shaped donuts. It's funny that like donut shape is like a specific shape pertaining to donuts, it seems. Was there something to refer to that shape before donuts? Or was that shape created because of donuts? I rushed. See, I wonder how many words I'm on now. Oh, no, I'm not too far. And especially because I've got Comic Sans, so it seems much bigger. I love a little dash there, spice it up a bit. He rushed in, scanning the glass case with row after row of perfectly shaped donuts, and not one donut hole. He melted floor. Melted to the floor. Is whales. Let's see. Is that right? Mother jump and chide him. I'm not putting like a particular age on him. Really like very young kid, maybe kind of older toddler. Like, I. Just want a donut. Gotta give him some stammering there. I just want a donut hole. Maybe I'll do the other one. The D is stuttering. I think it's coming along. Plural torsus? It's called a Taurus? Which one? Oh, baby. Oh, he's good. What did I get wrong? Yes, there's an actual name for that shape. Oh, okay. It's a Taurus. Plural Tauruses. Okay, interesting. If I'm pronounced that right. Alright, let's see. How do people react to this? Man, I'm gonna regret staying up this late, but I want to get at least like the rough draft down. You know what I do sometimes? Because like I don't like know exactly how I want this exchange to go, and I can just write notes to myself. Poor sleepy guy. Let's see. If I could just kind of make some notes. It's like mother is confused. Donut shop guy. Offers donut. I might also do, I could either do it where it's like, probably continues with this tone of voice of like, retelling, you know, kind of like, oh, my mother was confused and this guy tried to do it. Or I could get a bit more in the moment of the scene where it's a bit more kind of dialogue and action happening. Let's see what works best for a tight story. Let's see, boy. Boy vents about his frustration. Adults start to understand. And then at that point, someone in uniform man in uniform walks in to pick up an order for the recruitment station. And probably in the story, the boy might not like really understand. Like, does he make the connection that like a war is happening, or is that more for the reader? But then the boy, so that's kind of the aha moment. And then the sort of ending is the baker making a special donut hole. And says the boy can come back anytime for a special donut hole when he misses them. As one way to comfort the small, confused child that doesn't know why he senses such big changes happening. Wait, Minna, are you and Milliardo actually in Japan? Absolutely we are. And every time I go outside and, you know, try and go and buy something, I just stand there and I hand them my items and I stand there and I kind of have my bag, because any like plastic bags are like you have to pay for plastic bags. Like the stores aren't legally allowed to like just give you free plastic bags, and so like they'll ask you if you want like a bag or not. And so usually I just kind of like hold my bag, or a lot like they'll like point to a sign or kind of ask, but then I'll like just point to my bag if I think that's what they're saying. I'm just like quiet and just like nod and point and like have my card, and then they'll tell me when to put the card in, and then the machine will say "card o kudasai" when it's done with the credit card. And then I get my stuff, and then I just go "arigatou gozaimashita." And if they ask me any questions, I just kind of smile and nod and hope that that was the right answer. I know very little Japanese. I really need to learn. Thankfully, Milliardo knows a fair bit more and can actually like have basic communications and conversations. So that helps a lot. I really want to like really dig in and learn it while I'm here, and I have lots of exposure to it. But I got to figure out how to like make time in my day to day to like really actually study it. It's been what, June? I think we got here in June, July, August, September. It's only been what, 4 months? So I mean, we're still pretty new, so it's like I've got time. I just like want to work on it anyway. But yeah, we're in Japan. Let's see. So yeah, I think we've got our story. I really should call it and kind of wrap up. I'll hang out for a few minutes, see about redirecting to Salty, but I actually really like this. This was a really fun idea. I don't know if Temps are still around, but I really like that idea. That worked out really well. I think like the themes of it all coming together were actually pretty fun to play with. And yeah, so I've like, I don't have time, but I kind of have my ideas. So this is what I do, is make these little notes at like, so I kind of know where to pick up from, and then figure out how exactly I want to write it out. So there we go. We got our story where the boy is like, where are my donut holes? And then I think the reader will realize what's happening, but the boy might not. But I don't know, I'll finish fleshing it out later, and then either I'll do another stream working on it, or I might work on it on my own if I get the chance. So we'll see. For now, I'll save this in a minute. Call it the Donut Boy story or something. So yeah, I finally did a writing stream. Yay! I've been wanting to do one of those for a while. Any story about donuts has to be good, yeah. Just be nice and courteous, and the Japanese local will treat you well. Yeah, even if you try like a little like even if you like at least know a little bit of the language, I hear that helps a lot. Milliardo, as in Milliardo Peacecraft, from, what is it, Gundam? Or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure he took that sort of character in that name and then put like Beercraft on it. Put it beer instead. Actually, I'll Google to see if that's the one he's thinking of. It's funny because like the reason his character has a blindfold is like he was whatever like AI kind of thing he was trying to generate, and he was trying to get like a mashup of the character and like something else. Oh yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, for sure. So he was trying to get like an AI to like generate a sort of image similar to that character. And like the way that it was all sort of slightly abstract in the way the eyes looked. When we put it in like a different AI, it interpreted it by like making a blindfold. Or maybe someone else put in an AI, I forget. But anyway, he has a blindfold because one AI image made the like, it was really blurry. And so the other AI interpreted that as a blindfold, which is pretty funny. Gundam Wing, yep. Awesome. That's my favorite Gundam series. He could definitely do some streams talking about Gundam and all kinds of stuff like that. Hopefully we can figure out how to get him streaming more. It's so hard because like we used to like watch little movies or episodes of stuff more often, but I feel like since getting here, it's been like in some ways kind of more fast-paced and we're just so tired at the end of the day. I guess having 2 kids too probably factors into it, but the only Gundam I've watched really, I think, is Unicorn. I know he started to show me some other series, but the like war crimes were just like a little too much for me. But I liked Unicorn. Unicorn was pretty fun. I really like Darling in the Franxx. That was my first, I guess, mecha show I've ever watched. And I liked it. You'll go blind if you watch too much Gundam. I guess that's the moral behind his character. You should do a Gunpla build stream. That's definitely his department. He made a Minna Gunpla, I think. I think Gunpla is what I'm thinking of. He made like a little mecha Minna. I forget if it's in like a thumbnail somewhere. Let me check. I'm pretty sure, I feel like he put it in a thumbnail in one of the videos, but he made like some sort of like mashup of some different Gunpla kits and made a sort of Minamech. Actually, he did a stream about it. Hang on, he did a stream. How long ago was that? Where he was like building a Minna, and then I think I came around during the stream, and I was working on some tortilla dough, and so then I slapped the dough around during the video. Let's see. Let me look up what one it was. I knew we were doing some Ultraman watch-alongs. Oh, he did a second sort of Minna-ish model. He did a stream called Model Kit, fully armored and operational battle wife. That was 5 months ago, so I guess towards the beginning of us getting here. Or maybe that was like right before we got here. No, that was before we got here. Okay. Yeah, that was before we got here. But if you go to his channel, I guess I could link it. Try linking this video real quick. He does all that kind of stuff though. There's the video I was talking about. Battle wife is the best kind of wife, yep. Alright, let me go ahead and set up my redirect. Let me go find Salty. Salty, more like sweet tea, am I right? Because he's a sweetie. Let's see here. Yay, he's live. Woohoo! I finally have someone to raid that I know. Yay! I get to raid my friend. Yay! I'm always stuck finding like really random things to try and raid. It's like a wild goose chase at the end of stream trying to find what to raid. But tonight, I don't like. I think he's a scaredy cat or something, or he's not a fan. How do I redirect privileges needy? Okay, well let me go yell at him so I can raid him. You guys hang on a minute. I'm gonna mute myself so I can listen to what he's saying on stream. So you guys hang tight. I mean, I guess we could you know what? Let's manual raid, and I'll yell at him later to turn on his redirects. It's gonna be manual raid time. Let's see here. I'll go over to chat. All right, let's do this. Did someone say sweet tea? That's what I'm drinking right now. Now is it like sweet tea, like southern sweet tea? You know, a nice dose of diabetes with all that sugar? I can't. If I do iced tea, it's got to be like a different kind of tea. If it's like unsweetened sweet tea, that's not even a thing. That's no. Needs to be sweet if you got sweet tea. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, deploy raid. Let's go. All right, there we go. There's the link. Well, I went an hour past when I said I would, but I get to hang out with you guys, so woohoo! Actually, I'm probably gonna do a stream tomorrow. I had started a painting at a mom's night out, and I really need to finish it up. So we might do a painting hand cam tomorrow, which would be fun. I guess I'll try and get a waiting room up for that at some point. So anyway, there's the raid. Go say hi to Salty. Tell him the Stay Fresh Minna sent ya, and to turn on redirect, open your redirects or ratings so that I can probably rate him next time. Alright, in the meantime, thank you guys so much for coming. I know the plan kind of got like wonky and changed last minute from what we were originally going to stream, but that stream, the little relationship advice stream, will happen later when we have more like time and energy to like give our best advice that we can, which will be fun, but maybe next weekend, hopefully. In the meantime, I hope you guys all have a wonderful Sunday, or whatever time or day it is for you guys. So yeah, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Stay fresh, my friends.